Hello, I'm Jax Riley, and I like to make music, mostly of the country variety. And I write all my songs and record all the instruments to them. So, with that being said, I wanted to make a video series that was about how I come up with all that stuff. So, this first video will be about how I came up with the lyrics to the song I just released called "Ain't That Something." And if you want to listen to the full version, you can. It's on this channel, and I also have descriptions in my channel bio and the description or link in the description of this video as well on how you can stream it. So with Ain't That Something, it's a just like every song, I came up with the chorus. The chorus is, well, ain't that something? Kind of like that. And I just came up with my head. And most songs, I kind of do that. I just write the chorus first and then come back to it later. And this song was no different. And originally, with Ain't That Something, I had a different. It's one of the few songs where I wrote all the first verse and all the first chorus with completely different lyrics than what ended up being used, and rewrote them. And originally, the premise of the song was going to be based off of kind of like, like this guy really likes a girl, and she only is interested in him or talks to him whenever she's just broken up with somebody and needs somebody to talk to, And I think the chorus was like, ain't that something? You got your heart broken down. Wait, no. You got your heart broken again and you need a friend. Something kind of like that. And after I got done writing it, I was like, wow, this sounds really douchey. Like, it made the narrator sound like a jerk, Because in reality, maybe it's not the greatest thing to, like, maybe play people like you, and just not talk to them at all if you're not interested. But really, I feel like from a guy's perspective, it probably should be, it's a little bit on you if you've got somebody that like only talks to you and you get excited about talking to them, and like they're only talking to you whenever they've just broken up with somebody, and they're not taking you very seriously, So it's just kind of a life lesson thing. But I didn't like that premise for the song, and then this is April of 24, and like July or August of 23 is when I wrote the lyrics that was used for this song. And not long before that, there was this girl I went on a couple dates with. I mean, I've been on dates before this person, but it was the first time I ever went out with somebody that like I felt like I truly could have married them one day, And of course, after the second date, she was like, "Oh, we'll see each other again. Maybe best we go separate ways," that type of thing. And normally it doesn't feel good for somebody to, break things off. But like, I was really heartbroken. It was the first time I'd ever truly heartbroken by somebody before. And of course, even though I was 27, it still hit like I was 13 or 14 years old, like most people are. So, I mean, people that knew me at the time probably didn't think I was acting any different, but I was like really like internally very emotional. Like I was like, I'm gonna make a mixtape and it's gonna be about how sad I am, and she's gonna hear it, and then she's gonna know how sad I am, like that type of embarrassing thing. And in fact, I even wrote a song that week, I think, and it's the type of song that will never see the light of day because A, it wasn't very good, and B, it was kind of cringy because of how sad, emo it kind of sounded. But a month later, I came up with this song, and it was a much more mature take on heartbreak. And the premise of the song is that, what would it be like if I saw or met that person on the street like 5 or 10 years from now, and I was still single, and she was married with kids and stuff like that, and she had this great life. And that's pretty much the song. And going into the first verse, I will play segments and then explain how I came up with them. So the first verse goes, hello, it's great to see you. Yeah, it's been quite a while. Now tell me about what you've been up to. So, very straightforward lyrics. All of the first verse is 3 lines of verses. So most verses, lyrically and rhyming scheme wise, have either 4 lines or 3 lines like this song does. So when you have 4 lines, the rhyming scheme is normally the first and second line rhyme with each other and the third and fourth line rhyme with each other. not exactly set in stone. And what I mean by rhyming with it, it means, you listen to a song and the last word of a line rhymes with the last word of the next line. So that's what I mean when I say rhyming. Like the whole thing don't rhyme, but like as long as the last word rhymes, that's really all that matters. So with this one, it has three lines, and normally what you would do if you had 3 lines, you would just rhyme all 3 lines, like all 3 lines rhyme with each other. But in this case, the first line and the third line rhyme with each other. So hello, it's great to see you. And the third line is now tell me about what you've been up to. So very simple, and all these lyrics so far are not in the narrator's head. They're all actually things he's saying to the other person at the time. So then we go into the pre-chorus, and it goes like, then tell me why do I tell... Oh crap. Okay, no. It goes like this. Then tell me why do I want to tell you about what we could have been. And then I hear myself say. So, sorry about the voice crack there, but it's early in the morning, so got to get warmed up to it. But I fixed it. But so nothing really rhymes in that too much, but it's changed to like the thoughts. So why do I want to now tell me why do I want to tell you about all we could have been, and that's all in the narrator's head. And so now he's just asked this woman about what you've been up to lately, and then in his head he's like, I want to suddenly just tell her about how much I loved her back then, and I would love to get together with her again or go out with her again. And it may not necessarily be the type of thing somebody would actually say, if they met somebody like that, but in his head that's what he's thinking. So, and then with that in mind, the chorus goes, ain't that something, you got 2 kids and a dog and a beautiful home. Ain't that something, you met the love of your life and I see why. So suddenly it's now about, well, so what you been up to? And then she's like, well, I've got 2 kids and a husband and my life's doing great. The word phrase ain't that something is a sarcastic term, of course. I've used it many times because I am sarcastic. But it's kind of the type of thing you might would say if like a kid brings a rock to you, and then you're like, oh, cool, ain't that something? It's sarcasm. And Ricky's being crazy right now. It's actually Ricky's first birthday today, as I'm filming this, April 27th. So say happy birthday to her. But anyways, so with that being said, it's kind of the sarcasm of like, oh wow, your life's really great. That's cool, ain't that something? And then the internal kind of sadness of what he thought his life, that could have been my life if I'd stayed with this woman. And so very simple rhyming scheme here too, but it's a good example of words that don't rhyme when you sing them. I mean, don't rhyme when you say them, but rhyme when you sing them. So you got 2 kids and a dog and a beautiful home, but you got 2 kids and a dog and a beautiful home. There you go. And then the second part is like that too. You met the love of your life, and I see why. Those rhyme when you sing them. And then you go into this part, which is like the second part of the chorus, and then even though it's not with me, I'm glad to see you living out your dream. I think I did the wrong chord, but glad to see you living out your dream. See, there you go. Okay, played the wrong chord, but it still sounded okay. So, and this is kind of something maybe he does say actually to the person after all that, but maybe he doesn't quite say that. Maybe don't say, I'm glad to see him, you're leaving out your dreams, but you might would say, well, still sad things that work out between me and you, but I'm glad that it worked out for you, that type of thing. And it's almost a cringy line, but I ended up liking it because it does kind of sound like something you might would say in real life, well, I'm happy for you, that type of thing. And so then we go into the second verse, and the second verse is still just 3 lines, and it's a little different because now the second verse is all stuff that's in the person's head, all things he's thinking of while he's talking to this person in a conversation. So then it goes, if I can even remember what's wrong with me. All those times we were together, now they seem like sweet memories. Dang it, I've forgotten my own lyrics. Now they seem like such sweet memories. Now I guess things weren't meant to be. I don't know why I forgot my old lyrics there, but so a different scheme here, of course, and now he's talking about, remembering all the fond things about when he went out with this person, and now I guess I see why it didn't work out, because it worked out with somebody else, but which that doesn't always make sense, but in this case it does. And so it's a different rhyming scheme. So instead of the first and third line rhyming, the second and third line rhyme. So now they seems like such sweet memories, and then now I see things weren't meant to be. And then we go into the second pre-chorus line, which is different, and it's a little moody. This is probably my least favorite line in the song, but it's okay. So don't get me wrong, I'm glad I met you. I'm just feeling a little blue. And see, that does rhyme a little bit. It's glad I met you, but I'm just feeling a little blue. And this is also something he says in his head. You probably wouldn't say that. I'm so down, but oh my gosh, I'm still glad things went well for you. That's sappy, and there's no way anybody would say that in real life. Maybe if they're desperate, I guess. But that's kind of the pre-chorus line. And then the second chorus is actually different than the first chorus. I think I probably could have left all three choruses in the song the same, and it wouldn't have made much of a difference. But I didn't really like the monotony of it, because like if you're talking to somebody, like surely she said something else other than, having kids in a house and stuff like that. Stuff more specific. So it ended up being, ain't that something? You got the kids in school and you're doing well too. Ain't that something? You seem so happy now with this new life you found. Ain't that something? So now it changes up. It took me forever to figure this out, this part, and because I actually didn't write the second chorus lines until I didn't finish writing until the day I recorded it, pretty much. So I had a hard time finding out stuff that would rhyme. Even my girlfriend, this was back in January, we were trying to figure out stuff, and me and her came up with the "You seem so happy now with the new life you found," and then I had the kids in school thing. So you got the kids in school and they're doing well too. That does kind of rhyme a little bit different, and then you seem so happy now with the new life you found. Now and found, they kind of rhyme a little bit, but mostly when you sing them. And then the second part of the chorus actually changes up a little bit too. So you go, and even though it's not with me, and I'm glad to see he's living out my dreams. So now you change it up. Instead of I'm glad to see you're living out your dreams. Now it's, and this is kind of something you might wouldn't say either unless you're trying to be bitter, but, I'm glad to see he's living out my dreams, ultimate emo and sadness, of course, there. So, and after this, we have a little piano solo in the song, and then that leads into a bridge. So, bridging the gap between the second chorus, and then the end of the song is the third chorus. So the bridge was kind of like the change between the natural change in the conversation. So up to this point, she's been talking about what she's been up to and how her life's going and stuff like that. And then she's like, well, how's your life going? So it goes, yeah. And then she smiles and says, what about you? And I know I've got to tell her the truth. No, I can't complain, I guess. No, I've always got so much to do. So, and this is one of my favorite parts of the song that I actually, or favorite parts of the song to me, is this bridge, because then, you know, and then she smiles and says, "What about you?" And then he's like, "Well, this is my last chance to kind of be like, well, you know, I got things going on in my life, but I'm still single, and, you know, I still kind of think about you because I thought we were going to be something." And, you know, that sounds kind of pitiful, but it's kind of the thing people say, you know. And of course, you know, this happened like 8 or 9 months ago to me. And I don't know if I'd really be this emotional 10 years later if I was still single. But, you know, obviously, you know, I ended up months after, you know, I met the girl that is my current, you know, serious girlfriend, and I love her, of course. And, you know, when things like that happen, you really don't care about past heartbreaks as much. You may still remember that they happened, but you don't really feel sadness towards them or anything like that. But, you know, if somebody was still single and not really been with anybody for like, or fell in love with anybody for 10 years after they fell in love with somebody before, you know, it's possible they may think that way. They may think, though, I want to tell her about that, you know. But in reality, you might would end up just talking about, well, yeah, things are going good. You know, I like to stay busy. I got a lot of things going on right now, you know. And that's kind of what he says. So, and then the end of the song is just the chorus again, you know, ain't that something? You got 2 kids and a dog and a beautiful home. And it just ends the same way. And that's the end of the song. So, and this next video, you know, this series, I wanted to, it's type of content I would like to see. Like, I would love to see videos of, you know, some people may not care, that might be interested to hear how I came up with my song, but, you know, I would, it'd be really cool if there's a song I listened to and there was a video about how the producers came up with every part, and how the person that wrote the song, especially country music. There's so many people involved with all that process. And so that's what I'm going to do, try to carry it out. The next video will be about how I came up with the chord structure. How, you know, if you ever want to know about how do you take something that's in your mind and come up with the chords that go with it, and how you make it into a song, the chord progressions. And then after that, it'll be probably the drums, how I came up with the drum part, then bass, probably then piano, then electric, the lead guitar part, and then mandolin and steel will probably be the last ones. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed it, and hope to see you again.